Welcome everybody. Hello, welcome everybody also now on Instagram. Welcome you to this special episode of the Bisicast. This is my my episode 116 and my favorite tracks of 2019, as I've already mentioned on Facebook earlier. Thank you all so much for tuning in, for those who are. I'm not sure what I'm gonna see you. I hope I see you because I have a different iPad today. Because it's still, my iPad is on vacation, as I say. Francesco's already watching. Thank you very much for joining. I'll put together a playlist, quickly, for now, because it's been a bit stressful today. I got up way too late and I still needed to do something in the household and all that. But yeah, happy to be here now. David is in. Thank you very much for joining. Hope that you guys will all enjoy it. In the background, one of the first tracks that is an honorary mention, as I've already mentioned. So it didn't quite make it into my top 12 tracks. So I love kind of the number 12 because it's so well. So nice round. You can divide it by 2, by 3, by 4, by 6. A beautiful number. And so I call this 12 tracks that shaped my year 2019, and those are like my top tier tracks. So they're really the tracks that I thought made a difference and made an impact on me. And so I wrote this all on Facebook. So I'm gonna today I'm just gonna drop the Spotify playlist link where all the tracks are in. And let me first set this up quickly. Meanwhile, in the background you hear the wonderful sounds of CamelPhat. CamelPhat released some amazing tracks this year. My favorites being Be Someone and then Rabbit Hole. I'm gonna play both. The music is simply so touching and techy, but still very melodic, almost pop touch to it. This is so surprising what they do. Favorites of 2019, Spotify playlist. And I hope that you had some great holidays that you like or still have. And speaking of, I hope that you got some nice presents for Christmas. I have one. I don't know whether I can say this or not. I won't say it for now, but it's that big, at least financially for me and for my family, that it's basically was birthday and Christmas and Names Day, what we also celebrate in Poland, and Easter and everything together for 2019 and probably also 20. That's how big my present is. You can imagine it. I didn't feel like sharing it because I'm not that person that kind of shows what he or she he gets, But I just want to focus on the music because I believe this is like the best part that we can do. I quickly just share on Twitter that I'm live. So I have set up, put into the playlist 30 songs, So I made it up to the 30 songs, okay. I'm gonna present them to you tonight. And let me just quickly share the link here also on Twitter, and then I'm with you all the 3 people that are in. I'm thankful that you're watching. I hope that you will also have a great 2020. And definitely stay tuned up until the end because it's really only good music tonight. Favorites for 2020. So let me know what your favorites are. Maybe I can put in 1 or 2 into the show. Would be very thankful. Jose also watching. And let's enjoy the last drop here of Be Someone by CamelPhat. I really love this kind of happy, uplifting, synthy, but still it fits very well into this techie vibe by CamelPhat, what they usually provide. So really cool. Very thankful. So definitely one of my favorites. I've been listening to it very often. So that's CamelPhat x Jake Buke with Be Someone. It's a fantastic track, and not less fantastic, I believe. Some would say it's better, some would say it's about equal. CamelPhat featuring Jem Cook with Rabbit Hole. So I'm gonna quickly just drop the titles so you have an idea. But I'm not gonna share the links in the specific comments today because it would take a bit too much time. Yeah. In other words, I'm not prepared. Sorry for that, guys. But I provided you the whole list, and I want actually also to fix this. Yeah. Luis, we will play this Scrum tomorrow. Absolutely. Yeah. It's also in my playlist. I'm very happy that we're gonna play this in a bit. It's one of these tracks that didn't quite make it to my top 12, but I'm gonna maybe present it to you later then when we come to the top 12. Yeah. So, Rabbit Hole. Beautiful vocals. So it's the same vocalist as Brief last year. Brief was the track that I opened my last year mix of 2018 a year ago with, and I still love Brief today. It's absolutely one of my all-time favorites. So maybe if some would say, you know, what are your tracks of the decade, that would be one of them, I believe, because I still love to listen to it up until today. So maybe I want also to touch on that because I've already said it in my in the post today on Facebook that some people are doing mixes of the decades, also like for example guys like X-Tone, Third Party, Dub Vision I saw today as well. And to be honest, first of all, the decade is not over yet. It's still going on for another year because the next decade will start in 2021. Because the decades always go from 1 to 0. So 2001 to 2010. So, and then we'll start the next decade from 2011 to 2020. So till the end of the next year, and then we'll start the new decade, 2021. That's how it goes. So I heard on YouTube a very beautiful comparison. Someone said if you have like a small so if you like staple like, you know, a couple of €1 coins, for example, then where does the 10th coin land if you do like €10 stacks? Yeah, of course still on the first staple, and then with the 11th you start off the next one. Yeah. Okay. Good. Yeah. So, but you know, that's everybody's opinion, like how they feel like. Only because we switched the number in front doesn't mean we're in the next decade. So that's what I just wanted to mention. Yeah, Rabbit Hole. Wonderful track. So I haven't shared this yet, so I want to normally to do this, like at least the title, so that you know those who are watching. Yeah, of course I will upload this later to YouTube, and of course I did a mix. I'll talk about this later. And I will upload this somewhere. Probably Mixcloud, because I'm out of space on my SoundCloud, and I have very bad experience with SoundCloud because back in 2014, long time ago, 5 years ago, I was doing mashups and some even got recognized. So I remember one of my mashups back then was played by David Jones. I don't know if you still remember him, but he was a badass producer back then. I'm not sure whether he's still producing or maybe less or a different style. And back then, you know, because, you know, of the copyright stuff and all that, and the Spotify was not like big back then, and also like they didn't kind of have 3Ds or I don't know, like whatever, like, you know, any like kind of you know, agreement with all the labels and all that they can stream and cut off the ads revenue will go to the labels. Then they just took down the mashups, and there was still like the warning or strike system, and with 3 strikes you were gone, right? So back then I was very young, I didn't know that, and I paid for I believe that back then it was SoundCloud Pro and SoundCloud Pro Unlimited, and I cannot remember how much I paid. But then of course, yeah, they terminated my account, so SoundCloud.com/MaxBisi was gone, and I made up a new one, MaxBisi Official. But I swear to God, before I don't start producing my own music, maybe in the future, I won't pay a cent to them. And I want to upload a second or third mix that goes for over 1 hour. And I don't have space anymore because the free SoundCloud only has 120 minutes, so 2 hours. And I'm out of space now. And I'm thinking, no, I'm definitely not gonna pay 100 euros a year for something that I rarely use, because I'm honest, guys, I don't use SoundCloud that often, and because, you know, I listen to music differently, you know, and if people are listening to SoundCloud, to Spotify, to Mixcloud, whatever, it's fine. You know, it's cool. Do whatever you want. But I have like my own way of enjoying music, finding music, what I'm very proud of, to be honest. And this is basically the basis of, or like you know, the basic you know, kind of point of the Bisicast. So I'm actually looking for the music myself, and that's why I can present it to you. And I'm not actually you know, showing people off, like people don't tell me what to listen to. I decide it myself. Or people don't kind of recommend me something. It's very rarely that happens. But usually I find it myself, and I think, and I'm thinking about the tracks myself, and that's why I'm so, you know, thankful about, because yeah, this makes me very unique and individual, and not everybody can say, well, they have their own like kind of music nowadays. So this is very rare. Yeah, Ivan is watching. Bernardo, thank you very much for joining in the meantime. And up next, Solado and Eli Brown with Ecstasy was one of the favorite tracks on ADE, and yeah, and so this was kind of the comeback. I wouldn't say comeback. It's like, you know, one of was very popular during ADE. Has a bit of an acid house vibe. Ecstasy, hiding in ecstasy. Yeah, and a track definitely enjoyed over the year. Matthias is watching, thank you very much for joining. Just in time for Solado and Eli Brown with Ecstasy. Yeah. So, very cool melody, enjoyed it a lot over the year. Yeah. So that's all in my Spotify playlist, you can look it up. But not as much, to be honest. That's why it's an honorary mention. I mean, it's a cool track. The next one, I believe, I enjoyed a bit better, a bit more often, because it's a bit houseier. Also one of the favorites of ADE. So it's a remix by Jack Back, aka David Guetta, as we all know. By the original is by Barba Tuques, and it's Bayana. And yeah, definitely one of the tracks that I definitely enjoyed. And there's this one also, like what I mentioned, the Juice Harp, the German Mundtrommel or Maultrommel. So it's something what you put it into your mouth and play it like this. And this is here in this part here. So I know it from an Austrian ad on TV, Malzner, as you some know. So they produce mustard. Yeah, interesting. Not very interesting for my international, but that's where I knew it from, and I believe also in music class. So I had music class for 8 years at junior high and senior high. I would say in Austria, and so 4 years. Junior high, 4 years senior high, and I believe we also talked about the Juice Harp back then. So very integral part of this track, basically goes throughout the whole track almost, and that's what makes it also so unique, because it's an instrument you hear rarely, and that's why I'm enjoying it so much. Dong dong dong, dong 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 dong. That's how it goes. And that actually makes me move, it makes me shaking, so very happy track, love all throughout since the release. So I added it to my playlist on the 4th of October, so very late. But yeah, it's worth an honorary mention. Was very popular during ADE, I heard it a couple of times, so yeah. So let me know what you think about this, would be interested. So it's the Jack Back Club Mix, what do you play? So what else we got? So yeah, next one will be a bit probably surprising for all of you and for me as well. But you know, some tracks are very embarrassing. But oh, look who's watching! Divali Marco, just in time for a very awkward track. By the way, yeah, Happy New Year! Thank you very much. All the best for 2020. Hope we see each other next year again during ADE. Or maybe somewhere else. Who knows? Thank you very much. Marco and Vladi. Yeah, and just in time for a very weird track. And so I have to explain why Baby Shark by the remix by Joyous is one of my favorite tracks of the year, because there were certain days after the release where I couldn't get it out of my head. So I loved like the loop for some reason. It's like a child song, but you have to have come up with a certain idea to to build a track around it that is kind of listenable. I believe he dropped it at Burning Man, and then I heard like a video of it on Facebook somewhere, and yeah. So we say what like Baby Shark, Mommy Shark, Daddy Shark, Grandpa Shark, Grandma Shark, they all go hunt, and yeah. And then Joyous loops this and makes up a fantastic future bassy housey track out of it. Baby Shark. And now. So like this, you know. I thought when I heard this for the, of course I loved at the at the breakdown, but then I heard the drop and I thought, wow, this is not too bad. This is actually surprisingly good. How can you make a track out of this? So good. So yeah, that's why it's an honorary mention, because well, it didn't quite shape my year. But sometimes, you know, the most embarrassing breakdown / track can be a banger. So yeah. So that and then he breaks it down and then builds it up again. So yeah, unfortunately there's no extended mix of this one. I'm a bit mad. But yeah, still very enjoyable. And then how he loops it now here. Yeah. And then he builds it up again. Into the drop. Yeah. So very surprising track here, I know. But well, sometimes they have to be surprising, because otherwise you would be, yes, yeah, just the way it is. So yeah, up next, what else do I got here? Where's the track that I'm looking for? Can't find it. Yeah. So it has like only a 30-second drop and then it's basically gone. Yeah. But the next track is way better, way more enjoyable. Gabriel's watching over on Instagram. Thank you very much for joining. Just in time for definitely a track that if more tracks were allowed than 12, or that I allow myself, I would add it. But like the boss of the label made a better track this year. That's why I took this one. And not one of the tracks from the label. The Cube Guys with Bragg, definitely one of my favorites in June and July, where it was released. Yeah, how are you? How is? Wanted to ask how Christmas has been for you, Gabriel. Tell me, how do you spend it in Brazil? Because it's very warm there now, right? The congas. Oh, this makes up the track so nicely. Daniel Winters joined in. Thank you very much for joining. Just in time for the Cube Guys and Bragg. Out on Kryder this year. Face of human race. Cowbells make every single track 10 times better. This is so surprising. So, if you don't know what to add to a track to make it sound fat, add cowbells. It always works. 100%. This is so strange. But not every single person wants to have cowbells in their tracks. So I kind of understand it. Ooh. Yeah. So the cowbells really make up the track for me. Yeah. So yeah, absolutely sick track. So yeah, also I love the breakdown with the piano. Great job by the guys. They had so many great releases this year, really. Absolutely sick. So yeah, we'll carry on with the honorary mentions. Some few tracks to go. Yeah, the next one is by the Bossman himself, but not on the Boss's label. Talking about Kryder here. Kryder had a fantastic, had two fantastic releases. I wish he had more, but these two were like the main ones that I really want to focus on here in this mix. The first one is called Get Funky, and it's together with Fast Eddie. It was released in May on Musical Freedom back then. And one of the tracks made it into my top 12. In the top 12 there was not really like a specific order. Some I enjoy more, some less, but it's, you know, it's a very small difference. But that really got my ass shaken this year. So this track, yeah, this track really was absolutely amazing. Loved it. It's time to get funky. Yeah, absolutely. It's insane. Can you imagine that a track like this didn't make it into my top 12? Okay, it would have, but I had one rule. One track per artist. So I would have to headline 2 tracks per artist. And then I thought, well, I had to decide between the one or the other. You probably know the other already if you're watching. You know that I'm a fan of Chris for years. So, yeah. But I will talk about this later when I come into the mix. So I mixed the track already, but I will upload it probably tonight and then I will drop the link tomorrow. It's about to begin. Yeah. I love really the vocals, but the drop is really that what made the track. As I always do. This is like my groove move with the 2 hands. Doing waves. Almost one. Also works. So yeah, this track really got my ass shaken. I love the bass line. It's probably the bass line of the year for me. Absolutely sick melody. So Chris did a really great job, and I know some stuff about Chris. And yeah, hope that 2020 will be even better. So in I believe episode 150 or was it 200 this year? 200. I believe he announced that that there's gonna be a so that Susumi Records will come back, and I would be very thankful or very happy if it comes back in 2020 because there's much music lined up, and yeah, I would be very thankful to hear some new sounds, and yeah, it would be absolutely great. So hope for the best for 2020. Yeah. So how many tracks are left now? Oh, still quite some. I'm surprised. But yeah, there were many great tracks, and definitely want to show you like most of them. Yaroslav is watching. Thank you very much for joining. So the next one is called Gravity, and this is a progressive trance track, the only one that I added. So progressive trance is a problem for years already that the tracks all sounding the same. So maybe not all sounding the same, but like the structure is always the same. And this is very you can't there's no other genre out there where I can line this up better than on progressive trance. So usually it's around 130 BPM, 132, something like this, maybe sometimes even 128. And it always has like a hard drop, then a melodic drop, and then a hard drop again. So sometimes, you know, you just think about, which track is better or which is not so good. I'm very happy with someone who's watching right now, Pedro, aka Pete K. Thank you very much for joining. Just in time for a Gravity. The original is by Leo Loretti and Noir, featuring Brandon Minyaka. And this was out on Enhanced Progressive. So this is also in my playlist, so definitely feel free to check it out. Yeah. Absolutely cool. I especially love the vocal. So the vocal is absolutely great. So I don't really have much time actually to go deeper into that, but just enjoy the transition to the drop. Very Audien-like, I like that. So I've been a huge fan of Audien's earlier stuff. He had also some of the stuff on his album that he dropped this year, but not as much, I believe. So I'm not sure whether I have this Audien album. Yeah, Escapism, yeah, it's called. So Dreams, for example, and yeah, so he had some of the stuff, but not as much. So, but that's definitely one of the tracks that I was listening to very often. Simon joined, thank you very much for joining. Just in time for, yeah, well, my favorites of 2019. For now, we are still at the honorary mention section. And yeah, there were some very cool tracks. Many great albums were released also this year. So what do we got here? We got the Tin Liquor album, for example. This is Not Our Universe, and I'm gonna play you my favorite track out of this album here. This was called The Walk, which is a very cool, groovy drop here at 1 minute. So definitely worth checking out. So all the tracks will be in my playlist. It's already up, but it's not actually, there's no description yet. Because I couldn't come up with one because I was just, you know, it was just mixing all the tracks. So cool. So enjoyable. Wow. So yeah. So this is like a mix of groove and progressive. This is very rare. Usually it's either full progressive or full groove, but not the mix. So yeah, they actually made this up very nicely on this track. It's like great breakdown. And we'll go for the second drop. So also a track that I banged out hard after the release. Very enjoyable. That was end of September. It was the release. Yeah, and once we are at the albums, we can also stay here at another album. Grum also released a fantastic album, and that was titled Deep State. And my favorite track of the album, 10 tracks, is called Tomorrow. And yeah, it's absolutely fantastic track. And I really enjoy the vocals on that one. So the vocals really make up the track for me. So it's really something only to enjoy. So definitely one of my favorites, an honorary mention. So as you can already see, there are many honorary mentions I know. So you can actually imagine if you enjoy it already, then what my top 12 will be there even better. I mean, it's all yeah, this is my favorite party of the vocal here. Grum Tomorrow. The highs, feel the lows, live tonight. Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, this is Tomorrow by Grum. Feel the lows, live tonight. Yeah, I love this vocal so much. Yeah, and not only there were albums released this year, but also compilations. And one was, very so free actually. There was a free part. EP was very essential for me this year. But also amazing this year was the compilation by Kryder, God Save the Groove, Volume 2, actually, Criteria to be more precise, the Miami edition. And yeah, so 15 tracks on this compilation, which is very nice. And 2 tracks will really stand out for me on this one. The first one is by my good friends Jose de Mara and Cruci, featuring Nori, or together with Nori, De Beber. and it really got me shaking in March, well, actually in April. Dong, dong, dong. What's the melody? They mixed the melody with the groove. So sick. Still love it. Such a sick track. So I'll tag all the guys so that they see that I play the music. Yeah, the Beber Bra, exactly. So they did amazing work here. Lucy, Jose de Mara, and Nori. So yeah, you can check them out. Yeah, vocal is also amazing. Did such a great work on the vocal. It's very simple, but sometimes you don't need much. Turned up here a bit. So yeah, this is the one track. Thank you very much, guys, for this amazing one. And yeah, up next, another one that I very enjoyed this year of this compilation was Siente el Calor, Feel the Heat. So I'm learning Spanish here with Kryder. That's why I actually, made so much fun out of it, because I believe there are some Spanish people also in at Kryder. Otherwise, they wouldn't actually be able to connect all the Latin producers. El calor. So feeling the heat, absolutely cool. So yeah, those are my two favorites. I can tag them, but I can't. Okay, I can. Okay. So Siente el Calor, definitely one of my favorites on this year, for sure. So yeah, that's Siente el Calor, and yeah. So now I'm heading back to a few more singles, so 6 more left that are kind of an honorary mention. The first one being a very cool Alesso remix that I thought, usually I wouldn't actually expect anything by Alesso, because Alesso, it's been quite different in his sound for the last couple of years. And this year he came back with 2 remixes, and one of them by his own, he remixed his own track Sad Song, and I enjoyed this very much. Beautiful vocal, and yeah, in general, very enjoyable, very enjoyable. So, that's the Sad Song Alesso remix. It's all in my Spotify playlist. The pinned comment here that you can see. Yeah. Yeah, I love this vocal. So, yeah, you're singing a sad song, but it makes me so happy, yeah. I love this because it's actually, you would think that this is an oxymoron, so something that is simply impossible. But a sad song can make you happy. This is very true. And then how he builds it up into the drop, very cool. So it really has a bit of this old Alesso vibe. Of course, a bit updated, I would say. But it's definitely a track I enjoyed a lot this year as well. It was released in May. Oh, sorry, no, it was in August. May was the other remix. It was also cool. But I don't want to play everything because that would be a bit too much. So yeah. Oh yeah. Up next, we're getting a bit rougher again. Also another honorary mention is an absolutely fantastic track. And I'm so sad that this track didn't make it into my top 12. But simply there was no room for it. Other ones were better, I would say. And this track is called Blowback, and it's by Sander Van Doorn and Firebeats. I love this bass line, or main synth, however you wanna call it. Such a sick track. so dirty, so rough. Electro 2012 is screaming right now. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I also like how they build in the claps. It's insane that this track didn't make it into my top 12. I'm mad. I'm mad because actually right now when I'm gonna go back and listen to this mix, and then there's no blowback, I'm thinking why? Because it would be so perfect. But yeah, some other tracks had simply a larger impact. And it's definitely very bad that I kinda, chop it down to only 12, but those are my rules. And the second drop, wow, it's sick as well. A bit deeper, but still very progressive, very electro. Because this proper electro house is actually dead, so it's not existing anymore. Because what used to be electro house is now a mix of bass house and future house and something in between. And yeah, so there's no real proper electro. So I'm actually surprised nobody's doing this anymore, because it definitely would have a scene, for sure. Because I, for example, remember the old Tommy Trash stuff. This was sick. Yeah, comeback that I'm also very happy with this year especially was the comeback by Deniz Koyu. So I haven't actually had many tracks by him. He started off already last year with Atlantis back then in September. And he continued this path and maybe will also continue in the future. One of my favorite tracks by Deniz Koyu this year was Lost Soul. And yeah, let's give it a quick listen. And that was released, I believe, just in time for ADE. And I believe the ADE set by Deniz Koyu at Protocol, at the Protocol party, was one of my favorites, because he dropped his Tank 2.0 track. Then I totally lost it, but Lost Souls is amazing as well, so very enjoyable. Loved it all throughout the remaining year, basically. So it was released at the end of August. My soul. Very happy, beautiful melody, uplifting. Yeah. So 3 more tracks, then we're heading into my top 12 that I wanted to show you. Yeah, so this one is definitely, for many of you, one of your favorites, I'm sure. Mine is also, I also enjoy it a lot. The track is called Never Be Alone, and it's by David Guetta and Morten featuring Aloy Black. And it has also a follow-up single that was released not too long ago, Make It to Heaven, also by David Guetta and Morten. And this track was, I believe, is very old already. Morten played it in his solo sets. And so it was released this year in July. And yes, absolutely massive drop. So also here a bit of like old school electro vibes. Also with this long build up. Yeah, that melody. Unmistakably good. So yeah, I have no idea why David Guetta put his name on it, because I have no idea, to be honest. But yeah, it's just how it is. We can't change it. So yeah, Carolina joined. Thank you very much for joining. Yeah, so it has also great vocal, but I actually want to also like to kind of come to my top 12 tracks, because well, some of you guys, may come in later, and I actually don't want you to wait too long. 2 minutes, 2 tracks left. The first one that I definitely want to play, that I enjoyed also a long time throughout the year, was released in June, is called Horizon. It's by Mosiman and Leandro da Silva, and it has an absolutely fantastic drop. Mosiman, a great producer, and Leandro Silva as well. It was released on Protocol. And I love how slowly this drop builds up into like kind of showing the full potential, right? And I love those strings. Yeah, absolutely sick track. Yeah, Gabriel is now here also on Facebook. Thank you very much for joining. Just in time for Mossiman and Leandro da Silva. Horizon. It's fantastic. Second drop. I love those strings. Whatever the city is. Such a great tune. Yeah, one more track and then I'm heading over into my top 12. Meanwhile, I have to take my phone here and give it a power bank, because otherwise I won't see you anymore on Instagram and I want to see more of you. I love this track, it's so sick. Which is now out. Can I do this? Is it even possible? Yeah, it is possible. Nice. Surprise. Yeah. So I really enjoyed the vocal on this one, and yeah, and the drop. So yeah. What does make an honorary mention? Honorary mention is basically coming back to the track. So definitely one of the arguments. So even if the release is like 2 or 3 weeks ago, I still want to go to the track and listen to it again, and this was basically the case with all of the tracks. So this is important to me. And so that's that track. And now one last track that was kind of released very late, I believe in must have been, I believe, late November. I hope that I'm not wrong now. Dead Mouse made it once again into my list. Last year it was at the end of my 12-ish tracks that shaped my 2018. Back then it was the track Monophobia, and now we got the track Saturn, which is absolutely brilliant, with a great atmospheric and ambient intro / build up, however you want to call it, first part. I love those stabs here. And then he builds it up into the full track. So it reminds me very much of Strobe. So Strobe is one of my, I believe, all-time favorites by Dead Mouse. And this track also is absolutely brilliant, fantastic. The drop is at 2:45. So I believe that Strobe is even later. I believe it's 3:30, 4 minutes, something like this. And this track goes on like this for the next 3 minutes. This is so sick to listen to. So yeah. So also I believe a great way to end the honorary mentions. And now I'll head over to the top 12. Yeah. Okay. So for this part, I chose my top 12 favorite tracks with a few restrictions, I would say. I have already mentioned this on my Facebook page. Maybe I can read this for you once again. And I mixed it into a mix. I believe it's 53 minutes long. We won't listen to the whole track, to the whole mix. We will skip a bit through the mix. But so the restrictions were the following. So I got this here. Yeah. So 1 track per producer or artist. This was very tough, believe me. Then if I have a strong personal experience with the track, for example on live, for example in a club or at a festival, I believe it was only festival this year, because I didn't have any like amazing club experience. It just simply didn't happen for some reason. And then strong emotional experience when listening to the track for the first time on the internet, for example, and remembering a track and coming back to it even weeks or months after the release, because this is, I believe, the true quality sign of a track that makes up the year for me, or that was part of my year, because I'm listening to electronic music so much, or especially like checking tracks very often, there are some of the tracks that even when the release is past 1 or 2 months, I still want to go back, listen to it again, experience it again, and I believe this is what makes up the track for me. So yeah, so the top 12 tracks are in my this Bisicast playlist that I shared You can find it now in the comments here as a pinned comment, or on YouTube in the description, of course. The first 12 tracks. So this year, I believe last year it was the other way around, that I kind of made the made I believe them towards the end, or maybe I only did those tracks, I can't remember. But those are really like the 12 tracks that shaped my year 2019, where I say, okay, when I come back to this in, let's say, 10 years, okay, those were the tracks that I was really listening to. And it's a very wild mix. So, some years back, I, for example, remember, I believe it must have been in 2013 or 14, I did like 2-year mixes, one for the melodic uplifting tracks and one for the electro banging ones. Now that this actually merges now more and more together, it's very tough to kind of, distinguish all the different sounds. And also now also I added some tech tracks to it and all of that, so it will be a very wild mix. Martin joined, thank you very much for joining over on Instagram. And so the 12 tracks, I believe wrote a bit more about them. And this mix we will find on, I believe, Mixcloud. Not sure yet, but I will definitely drop the link once I'm done. Once it's uploaded, I'll drop the link into the description and into the Facebook comments. So the first track that I chose to open up the mix is David Guetta featuring Raye with Stay, Don't Go Away, the Mark Knight extended mix. So usually, I believe, except one track, all of the tracks will be extended mixes or original mixes if they are extended. So, with Spotify, much changed for electronic music, also like the way music gets released. And extended mixes are rarely to find on Spotify. Usually you only find the SoundCloud mix, the radio mix. And I don't know why this is. It's just how it is. I can't change it. Yeah. So why did I chose this track? So the Stay remix. So especially what you hear right in background, those like, I don't know, bells, or I don't know what that is, xylophone or whatever. And I simply love this kind of sound. And the melody also like kind of made me come back to the track more often. Don't go. And of course, the drop, like the vocals also fit together very nicely. Ding 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 ding. Yeah. Now I was running around. Also, like when the melody is so catchy that I sing it while walking. This also is like one of the tracks that kind of makes it up for me for some reason. Yeah, for this I will share the SoundCloud link because I believe those were really the 12 tracks that shaped my year, and it's definitely worth sharing here the Spotify link. Yeah, so a very enjoyable track. Was one of my favorite tracks in general, I believe, of the year. But in general, opala. I'm not there on Facebook anymore, or on Instagram at least. Sorry for this short break here. Let's see. Why do I hear myself? This is not what I want. So, does it work still? Yeah, it will. So yeah, this is the track, Stay, Mark Knight remix. So definitely a track that I came back to, that I enjoyed a lot. Yeah, rip phone. Thank you very much, Martin. But yeah, definitely one of my favorites. It's because I have to charge it right now. I'm not prepared for this Bisicast. I'm so mad on myself. But I cannot stream at midnight. This would be a bit too late. Also for me, like, because I'm tired already. Very enjoyable. And then I mix it into the next track, and this is definitely one of the greatest greatest surprises of the year. So the next track is called Foundation. So the transitions are just there to be there. It's anything special. I don't know if it sounds good, if it sounds bad. Just quickly mixed it together for some reason. God So I'm screaming on this melody. I'm screaming. What the fuck? This was the first thing that I heard, that I was thinking when I heard the track for the first time. What the fuck? What is this? A melody, a synthie I never, at least a synthie I never heard, and such a banging melody, and supported with this beautiful bass line. Holy shit. This was my reaction. So I was screaming. I'm not lying. I'm honest. Really. Yeah. Can't stop singing this melody. It sounds totally awkward, I know. But this is just what a track, makes the standout track. It's really something you can't get out of your head. And this was the melody of Foundation by John Dahlbäck was really one of the cases. I'm not even lying. So huge surprise, even to myself. I'm 100% honest with you. It's simply, yeah. I can't get this melody on my head. It's so sick. Wow. So yeah. This was one of my favorites. I mean, it's watching. Thank you very much for joining. It's been a while. Wow. Yeah. And this is, my 12 tracks that shaped my year 2019. I will upload this later on Mixcloud, probably. Maybe on YouTube as well, if I can. I'll see. Yeah, so there's this shitty transition into the next one, because the outro is so short on this one. So, what else do we have? So yeah, the next track is an Ed Sheeran remix. This is also another surprise, but this track really also made up my year, basically. So, also it was very tough to find the extended mix back then. Now it's already on Beatport, which is surprising. But yeah, it's just how it is. So, yeah. Cross Me the M22 remix made up definitely the year for me, especially now with how it actually moves onto the drop here. So yeah, I had an instant euphoric feeling when I heard this for the first time. So I was really surprised that can create like a melody like this, groovy, danceable, and really like something that you can't control your body. So this is so individual. This is so tough to explain. I'm trying to explain this for 116 episodes, and I'm so afraid that I'm kind of always repeating myself over and over again. But yeah, an absolutely fantastic remix. So very, very cool. Also, like in the extended mix, they extended a bit the drop here onto the outro. So absolutely sick. Yeah, the next one maybe not a surprise, but for me, yes. Because usually I wouldn't actually take an Oliver Heldens track into my favorites. But in that case, I heard him on Open Beats Festival in I have some people here over on Instagram that definitely want also to join myself. So, fortunately, I had to play a cock block now a bit, or whatever, or like a cliffhanger. What's the drop gonna sound like for you on YouTube and Insta? But I definitely wanted actually to renew this, and I'll wait now a bit till they join in again. Yeah, that's very unfortunate that they have like this 1 minute here. Okay, but Martin is over here on Facebook, so that's maybe good. But I'm also now on Insta as well. But so what makes the track epic? Okay, thank you, Martin. Because here I don't have any 1 hour restriction. Yeah, it's very unfortunate, but like the tracks were so long. So what does the track make here stand out? I'll show you this. Because I really will show you. Like, not metaphorically speaking, but really like with my hands. Manually. The drop is not all, but what the drop is amazing about the drop is this part that's coming up. Not now. It's coming, I believe now. This filler! This filler makes for me the whole track. This is mind-blowing. I can't even describe this. Have you ever heard a better filler in a track? What is the usual filler in an electronic music track? A fucking Pryda snare. And here he comes with a melody change. Never heard before. And also like because when Hardwell dropped it for the first time at Ultra Euro back in 2018, back then it was called the Hardwell 2010 ID, I believe, or something like this. So old Hardwell, the Hardwell is coming back to its roots, whatever. So he was dropping the track, was really feeling it on stage, and then with the filler he was doing exactly like this, and he felt or like this, I don't know, I can't remember. And the outro as well, it's amazing as well. So, Martin, my bet goes to you. Better filler in any electronic music track than in Retrogate. There is none. I can tell you. This is so fantastic, out of the box. Maybe it's not out of the box, but come up with an idea like this, you know? Think, you know, I don't want a straight drop melody. I want to, on the last 4 bars, I want to change it up, go into the next 16 bars or 32 bars. I'm shaking. I'm shaking when I'm thinking about this. So I did now a transition into a bit of a quite a track, I would say. More progressive one, Pete K Nova, one of my favorite progressive tracks of the year. So Pete K released a lot of amazing music. Huge fan of him. Supporting him for a couple of years, I believe now, for 2 years already, I believe, for over 2 years. And because I remember very well his set at, I believe, 4 or 5 a.m. 2 years ago at ADE. It was, back then they were still outside of the town. There was in, oh my goodness, I can't remember the club name anymore. But it was far outside the center. That's what I remember. Yeah. It's absolutely insane, Martin. Thank you very much for being with me. This is a huge honor. I can't breathe even. It was so emotional. Yeah, Retrogate, definitely one of my favorite tracks. And this drop here as well. Wow. Okay, what happened here? This part here. I believe you can even watch my initial review on Pete K Nova on my YouTube channel. I believe I cut it out somewhere as a highlight. I love how it's slowly building up. Back again. So, yeah, this filler is absolutely out of this world. So yeah, Pete K Nova was out on Zerothree Records on May the 3rd this year. So I also dropped all the release dates to it, because I believe, and you can see that all the tracks are really from 2019, and I'm not making up anything. I mean, there were some tracks that from 2018 that I rediscovered, or that kind of were still released in 2018 but made their way into 2019. One great example is, I believe, Nobody Else by Axwell. But yeah, it wasn't released in 2019, so I can't really say that it made my year 2019 for some reason. If a track made my year up, then really then it should also be released in 2019. That's my opinion. Absolutely sick track. Also love Hear the Melody loads. Yeah. So absolutely great. So yeah, I want to quickly drop this for you here. The Spotify link. Yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tracks left, and then we are done with this mix here. Up next, unfortunately, I believe Walden is not in chat anymore, but a track by him is coming up. An absolutely wonderful track here by PK called Nova. Was out on Zerothree Music. Pete had amazing tracks. He had a track on the Kryder compilation. He had Annulment on Colorize. Gotten together with Walden on Release Deep. But my favorite track on Release Deep this year was this one here. A track called Rezzo, and it's by Walden. Yeah, so I really like the melody, the flow of the melody as well. The synthy, very, it's a mix of dreamy synthy and uplifting synthy. It's very interesting to listen to this. Yeah, Walden is back, thank you very much. Yeah, Walden, thank you very much for this amazing track. Rezzo made it into my top 12 tracks of 2019. With an absolutely fantastic melody and yeah, very enjoyable in general, and I'm very happy that I saw you live at ADE this year. I enjoyed your set, I believe, the most, and there's even there's even some music out there. Or to put it this way, I hope that you will still go on in 2020, release more music. Very thankful. Yeah, can't wait. Yeah, Olina is also in on Facebook. Thank you very much for joining. I didn't have time to comment on your Amtrak track. I will listen to this later. After the broadcast. Yeah. So, also another person that was important, was not called Rezzo, but Rezzo. He was important in Germany. Because he destroyed a political party in one video for half an hour. Nice job. Nice job. To destroy a political party, the leading political party of Germany in one video. Oh, nice job. But yeah, let's come back to Rezzo here by Walden. So I hope that Release Deep was it was amazing that they started it this year. The boys, Johnny and Harry. Yeah, and also like how I love how you added this second a bit rougher layer. This dum 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 dum. So yeah, it's very well with the kick is a very minimal one, so it's not really about the kick on this track. It's really about the atmosphere, the melody. Also great arrangement. So mix sound is absolutely great as well. So yeah, thanks a lot for this, Walden. Very thankful. And yeah, we're continuing the progressive journey here in this part of the mix. As you can hear. Oh, my mixing skills are so on point, aren't they? No, just joking. I mean, it's not tough to mix, believe me. If the experience I have. So it's been really like if I really like go into 2020, that will be my, I believe, 10th year or even 11th year, no matter how I count, of me like closely watching the scene. And this is about 10 years? Wow. I think quite a while. Yeah, thank you very much for joining, Walden. This is a huge honor. Hope that in Australia everything is fine and the fires around Sydney are not as harsh. But you live now in London, I believe, right? So, or in Stockholm, sorry. But maybe I don't know where you're at right now. Anyway, yeah, Australia is a huge issue now. There's fires there now. Yeah. So one of the tracks. So usually, again, this rule: one artist, one track on the top 12. And so I really had to choose from this epic Pryda 20 or 15 EP, yeah, Sweden. And I decided to choose Joyous because it had like the strongest first impact on me. I mean, I loved Boss 605. Yeah, thank you very much. Happy holidays, still Walden. All the best for 2020. And yeah. Meanwhile, we'll continue here now with the last. What do we got here? We got 3 tracks to go, and Joyous was simply the strongest track here. Absolutely. At least like for me, like I got Rezzo already, so now it's time for Joyous. And yeah, the melody on this one is simply sick. But I also loved Tromp, Equinox. Those are all fantastic tracks on this EP, and from the earlier 2 EPs, there were also so many good tracks. Like, I can't even name them all now because I don't even know them by heart. There's been so much. So as you can see, there's much music, and I'm happy that I can go through all of this with you. Yeah, but Joyous was. If I had to choose one of all the tracks from the Pryda 15 EPs. Then it is Joyous, for me at least. So definitely one of the tracks of the year for me. Yeah, and after that, I go basically, I will look for my top 3 of the year. So this is such a euphoria, and this euphoria goes on for 2 minutes, or something like this. Such a beautiful melody. So really, like, Eric did such a great job on this one. Like, is there a bad track by Eric Prydz? I believe almost not. I believe when I think about it, maybe Call Me is his worst track. Because all of them are absolutely sick next to it. Yeah. So yeah. Now back into the more houseier side, I would say. On this transition here. Look who's watching, Mary. Thank you very much for joining. Happy holidays. Frohe Weihnachten im Nachhinein. We still need to talk about the Kollegas album. We haven't done this yet. We need to. I won't discuss this now, but one of the tracks is also like one of my favorites about German rap, but today it's more about electronic music, I would say, my favorites. So yeah, it was the year of Arno and Norman Doray. So these guys, wow. They are back in style with 3 or 4 amazing releases, and my favorite of them was already released in January, so this is the earliest track, called Together. Now here. I love this variation in the drums here. Yeah, love it. It's beautiful, melodic, uplifting, happy tune, almost. So yeah, definitely my top 12. Yeah, especially also with the vocals here. This feeling forever. This feeling forever. We need to stay together. Then you drop it again. So definitely one of my favorites. So this is a track that I really, even months after the release, I came back and wanted to listen to it again because it's so beautiful and melodic. And once again. So yeah, absolutely sick. Beautiful music, absolutely sick, and definitely one of my favorites. So as you can see, I'm still into this housey, melodic, uplifting sound. I've been into this for years, but I see, for example, that many of my friends enjoy also this more deeper, this more techno-esque sound, I would say. It's a rougher, deeper. I also enjoy deep progressive sometimes. I like it more. Over the last year, that's why because there were also many great progressive releases this year, that from next year on I will make an own playlist in my music collection for progressive tracks only. So really like real progressive ones. So they go really for 6-7 minutes. They really like gonna get stuck to a certain atmosphere. And yeah, so this I believe really makes justice to these tracks because there are really many of them this year. Let's turn it up again. Together by Arno and Doray. Yeah. Very enjoyable. Yeah, 2 tracks left. And I would say those are, I believe, 2 of my favorites for sure. Otherwise they wouldn't be at the end. You can already hear the transition. Yeah. What else could it be when we're talking about a Kryder track? Yeah, what else? What else? What else? What else? Tell me what else. Of course it has to be... Yeah, it has to be Stay. So Stay was an exclusive on We Rave Your SoundCloud page. That was released on 21st of August. Yeah, and definitely one of my favorites of the year. So yeah, so I believe this was already played last year at Tomorrowland. That's where I heard it for the first time, and I remember this very well because I was also on Open Beats last year at the same time where Kryder played on the X-Stone stage, Tomorrowland, and he played this as his final track, and it was live streamed, so really true live stream. And I was up in the VIP section of this Open Beats festival. And now let's check out the drop here. Absolutely sick, beautiful, uplifting, full scale sound. I love this. And so I believe DVBBS or dubs, however you want to call them, were playing on stage, on the main stage, and of course they play shitty music. And that's why I took out my phone and my headphones. I was listening during it was kind of a silent disco for me. I'm not even joking, that really happened. And I hear this track and I'm blown away. And I thought, God, Chris, that's it, exactly. That's what I thought. So beautiful melodic uplift. So the first reaction, the first impact of the reaction was so huge. And even after the release, I was listening to this in the car, and I'm thinking, God, this track is amazing. Beautiful, melodic, uplifting, happy, emotional. These strings, huge fans of strings, huge fan of strings for years already. But in this case, Hans Zimmer did a perfect, pattern for this to make a bootleg out of this. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Absolutely great. And now also like in the breakdown. We go in the breakdown here now, and then we listen to it closely. Beautiful. There's also like my favorite rap track of the year, German rap track. It's also with strings in the in the beat and then in the outro as well. So yeah, this is kind of how the circle closes for 2019. Yeah, but this is not the final track. One more to go. Of course, you were probably wondering why do I have a third-party t-shirt on. Actually, my plan was to put on my Pryda t-shirt, but I couldn't find it that quickly. Must be somewhere around my home. And yeah, and now we're gonna head like to third party now, the last track. And now they build up for the last track. Yeah, it's absolutely beautiful. Yeah, it's so like carefully crafted. You can hear every single sound. It's so perfectly balanced in the mix. Also like one of, I believe, the best mixed tracks of the whole year, for sure. Yeah. So yeah, that's that. Let's stay. The last track of the 12 tracks that shaped my year 2019 is one by these guys. And as I've already mentioned, yeah, the whole album is absolutely fantastic. They released the album together in February this year. And yeah, and all the tracks are absolutely fantastic. But one, I had to choose one. And I chose one. Once again, Riton. What is happening today? Oh my, this is so bad. It's basically the end anyway, so I don't care as much. So there, I filter it out because there is no intro of the track, so that I had to kind of mix it in. But that's just now how it is. That's why I decided to kind of filter it out, and yeah, slowly but surely, and then start with the track because it has no intro. So I would have no idea how to mix it differently. So I didn't want to mix it into the drop because it would be very strange. Yeah. So the final track of this mix, and also of 2019 for me, for the Bisicast, is Northern Lights. And before we finish, let me put it this way. I have an announcement. Not now. I will announce it on story, on Insta story. And it's the greatest announcement for Max Bisi ever. It isn't something super truly special for maybe you, but for me personally, because it is a huge dream of mine that I can hopefully finally fulfill, and it's one of the last ones, I believe. Of course, many people say never stop dreaming, but for now, I believe I would be very happy with this gets fulfilled. So yeah, I believe I'll announce it maybe January 1st, January 2nd, something around this, because I still need to finalize some stuff, and yeah. Yeah, so Northern Lights by Third Party is my last track. Also because I had a wonderful experience when I heard it for the first time. And at their live concert in Liverpool this year. I believe the album was not released back then yet. When I'm going to visit Norway and see the Northern Lights, I have no idea, because I only want to go to Oslo. And Oslo is not that high up. I would have to go, I don't know, to Narvik or somewhere up there, or Hammerfest, I don't know what's up north there, or Svalbard, somewhere up there, aka Spitzbergen in German. There I would see the Northern Lights, but I'm not sure when I can still see them in Oslo. But yeah, beautiful track. The melody also handcrafted. Yeah, enjoyed so much over the past year. Heard it. I mean, I loved Falling, for example, very much as well. I mean, so many tracks that the guys released. But yeah, that's just how it goes, I believe. And I had to choose one, and I chose Northern Lights because I was so euphoric when they dropped it in Liverpool in February, March. I believe it was February. Was it January? I can't remember. So when I was in Liverpool, and yeah, because I was there myself. So I met some people over there at the party. Many UK people, what I was very happy about. And yeah, hope that you will have, maybe also to say some words to you, a blissful, amazing 2020. I'll celebrate it with a few friends of mine, or they will be my friends, hopefully, with some people. I guess I didn't want to spend it on my own, because like to celebrate it on your own. It's very strange because my brother is celebrating it with his girlfriend, and my parents are going somewhere else, and I would have to like celebrate it on my own here at home, and I didn't want that. And as there are no actually super great New Year's Eve parties, I just go to a private party and that's it. Maybe I'll drop some stories, maybe. We'll see. Shining like the northern lights. So thank you guys so much. I hope that also Third Party will drop some more amazing music in 2020, or at least release records. And from what I know, they have a lot of collaborations in the pipeline. So it would also be great to see what they come up with, different artists, different people. Yeah. I hope that you guys enjoyed this last episode of the Bisicast in 2019. See you, I have no idea when. Next week for sure, because this is Monday, so probably 7th, 8th of January maybe. Because I also discovered some great tracks this year, like also still like in this holiday period here. Some great stuff, and yeah, hope to see you back in 2020 with some more amazing Bisicasts, maybe some better ones, hopefully. But yeah, for now I'm happy with this, and yeah, I'll drop you all the links later then, and also on my Facebook concerning about the year mix I'm gonna upload somewhere, probably Mixcloud, not sure yet. But yeah, hope that you'll enjoy this. This change of year 2019-2020. Happy New Year. And yeah, I hope to be back in 2020 and see you on the next Bisicast. Thank you very much. Have a great New Year's Eve and all the best for 2020. Thanks and bye.